In this example, CDL has 100 meters of fencing, that's like of material to make a fence, and wants to make a rectangular field and an enclosure next to the Versoix River. So that means there's no fence needed along this side of the rectangle. This side here doesn't need a fence. The only fence that is needed is here, here, and here. And what we're asked here, what are the dimensions, that's the length and the width, of the field? We're asked for this length and this length. I guess the length and the width. Now, in order to use algebra to help us with this problem, we're going to have to give, for example, the width of the enclosure a name, perhaps x or perhaps y. In our case, perhaps we'll give it the name x. And we could also give the length of the enclosure the name y. If we do that, it means that the length of the fence is the 2x plus the y. And that has to be equal to 100 meters. Again, the x plus the x gives us the 2x, and we've also got this y. And that should all add up to 100 meters of fencing. It would be possible to rearrange that equation just by putting the 2x over to the other side. If you do, what we get is y equals 100 minus 2x. Now, to get the area of a rectangle, we have to take the width and multiply it by the length. In our case, the width is x and the length is y. Now, since y is equal to 100 minus 2x, we can replace the y in that equation to get x times 100 minus 2x. We can then multiply the brackets out. If we do that, we get minus 2x squared plus 100x. And we know from what it says in the question that the area is supposed to be 1,250. So we can put that equal to 1,250. And at this stage, if you're a mathematician, you celebrate because you now have an equation. Your equation is negative 2x squared plus 100x equals 1,250. We can rearrange that a little bit. We could take the negative 2x squared over to the other side, the 100x over to the other side. If we do, we get an equation that looks like this: 2x squared minus 100x plus 1,250 equals 0. That's just something that should be quite familiar to us now. That's an example of a quadratic equation. And it's reasonably easy to solve that quadratic equation if we just first of all divide each term by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2 gives us x squared. Negative 100x divided by 2 gives us negative 50x. And 1,250 divided by 2 gives us 625. To solve that, you can factorize this equation here. You can factorize it by just looking for two numbers that multiply to give 625 and add to give negative 50. It would be x minus 25 times x minus 25. So that's x minus 25 all squared. That's supposed to be equal to 0, which means that x has to be equal to 25. Then if you want to find out y, the length of the enclosure, you'd have to do what y was equal to up here. We take the y equals 100 minus 2x. We plug in x equals 25 into the x there. And if you do that, what you should get is 100 minus 2 times 25. And that should be equal to 50. And as a result, the enclosure should be 50 meters long and 25 meters wide. We've found our x for the width and our y for the length.